AskReddit by Thromenthesore2. Redditors with nip piercings, what do you wish you knew before getting them? Ask to have them done at the same time if you're getting both. Why? Not speaking for myself, but I know my friend had one nipple pierced, and she didn't realize it might leave the nipple perpetually somewhat erect. So she was very self-conscious about having one nipple visibly hard all the time while the other wasn't. Really bugged her. There were a few times I was in a rush and got it stuck on the towel and thought I'd rip my nipple off. That 4 weeks later I would have bilateral mastectomies. If I knew I would have pierced them way sooner. Hope you're healthy now. That sounds very traumatic. Way more stuff touches your nipples than you notice, and a lot of it will snag on piercings and hurt like a bitch. You will never be able to absent-mindedly use a loofah again. But absent-minded loofah time is my favorite. If you have a ring, flip it up when running with a sports bra on. Now this sounds like a life pro tip. How long they take to heal? It can depend on how big your chest is. I 38FF cup and it took a full year before I didn't feel like I needed to protect the nips during intercourse doing physical activities etc. I'm small chested and it took me about 2 years for them to heal. Worth it though. Some of my friends never really healed and still get crusty. It hurts more than anything I ever experienced before. I'd rather break my arm again 3 times. Don't clean out the ferret cage without a shirt on. I almost ripped my nipple off. Can we get more details on this one? Did the ferrets attack? They heat up pretty quick in a sauna. I'm not completely sure, but mine were surgical steel ones and I never had any issues. If you have titanium it might be worse. I was not prepared for how visible they would be under shirts. That if you have piercings anywhere on your chest area and you ever require a defibrillator, those babies are coming out one way or another. Tip: first aiders responders do not sit there trying to unscrew them. They either cut your nips off or shield their faces while shocking, which causes the metal to superheat and explode. On the plus side, it also cauterizes the wound. As taught to me whilst on first aid course in the UK. Jesus Crimoni. Piercings in general, the smell. Elaborate? Loofahs, just no. I no longer have it because it kept getting stuck on stuff, everything from towels to bras to clothing. Just be extra careful when drying yourself. There were a few times I was in a rush and got it stuck on the towel and thought I'd rip my nipple off. Get them slightly inverted. As they settle they tend to drop on the outside a bit. Do not cover up bare chested with a Afghan as it will catch on the ring and pull when you throw the Afghan off. They never stop sticking to the flesh. My earlobes and cartilage never had that problem. I don't know if that's universal. That it hurts like a bitch. Nearly threw up and passed out while getting them. Would rather have my elbow tattooed another 4 times than that, and make sure you can unscrew them on your own. Mine were so tight I needed some pliers and a friend to take them off. Also make sure to tape them properly when doing contact sports like rugby or jiu-jitsu. Go really slow on speed bumps as well. I have pretty high pain tolerance, but I damn near passed out having them done. Glad I had them both done at the same time. I would have never have done the second on if I'd done them individually. My wife is from Europe and she says that the pissers there will put a sterile lidocaine gel on the area before they pierce it. They don't do that here in my area in the US. And, ironically, I had them pierced to make my nipples more sensitive when my wife is doming me. And I agree with the folks about them catching on stuff. I switched from straight barbells to horseshoe barbells after they're healed, and they don't catch on near as many things now. I'll second the long healing time. Also they're gonna be sensitive right after you get them. For a while. Too sensitive to touch your shirt. Also, watch out for stuff with magnets. Be very careful with seat belts while healing. The shoulder harness will try to snag coming and going unless you are wearing something as thick as a winter coat. Archery isn't a great idea. Make sure you eat no matter how nervous you are. I got mine pierced, and then passed out twice 10 minutes later after leaving the shop. Not me, but my GF had hers pierced, and loves the look and feel. However, she had to remove them for an x-ray, and struggled to replace them after. This was only about 3 mths after having them done. So they healed up super quick, and she had to wait 6 mths to have them pierced all over again. Apparently, there are plastic bars that you can insert temporarily for x-rays, so they don't heal up, and she wishes she had known that. I used to refuse to remove mine for x-rays and scans or surgery. They'd just give me tape to put over them. It would have been kind of awkward for my nipples to stick to the roof of an MRI scan or something. Nothing terrible happened. It would really depend on where they're trying to scan though, because if it was a chest scan it could cause interference and I'd understand the need for removal. Mine were other areas, so they let me get away with leaving them in. I do actually have a picture of an x-ray taken when I arrived unconscious in the ER with my piercings in it. They don't detract from the rest of the x-ray. However, they did later remove all my jewelry at some stage, as a standard thing in hospital when a lot of scans and surgery are involved, I suppose. I don't care what anyone says, do not heal with curves barbells. When they flipped I about died every time. Also they are quite likely to settle and move. Still a good idea to check out the mapping in all states of nipple, you know what I mean. Also literally everyone will want to see them. Even your middle-aged soccer mom co-worker you barely know. My nipples go pretty flat when not hard, and I had them done twice. Gave them over a year each time. And they just never really healed, and I think a lot of that has to do with the weird pressure that got put on them when soft. And yes, I sized up to larger gauge, tried switching to actual rings, etc. Well, nothing. They aren't very complicated and I have other piercings, so I know how to make them heal well and keep them clean. I have 11 nipples. Will it be complicated for me? My dream is to have my pet gerbil run an obstacle course on my chest while I hold them up for him like oops. I wish I would have talked with my pisser about my scoliosis. He placed them so that they are perfectly straight, like when I'm standing how I usually do, but if I lift my arms up and my spine straightens out from the stretch, or if I straighten myself while lifting my shirt up, one looks slanted like comma, and I hate it. I know it's just from an internet stranger, but I find that idea of a slanted piercing adorable. Far more interesting than the standard horizontal. Got them both at the same time. One healed almost immediately and the other took 9 months and got caught on car doors a lot. Left them out a few times for extended periods and they never closed up, but I had to start wearing a much larger gauge to get back to normal slowly. Car doors? Please explain. If thinking about the healing, maintenance, and extra carefulness required when running fabric over them makes you second guess your choice, then take some more time to think about if it is worth it. That even when they're healed, bumping them would still hurt like a BTCH. My ex had one nipple pierced and she went to jail. They took it out very, not delicately. I need a story time. I wish I would have known mine would never fully heal. Sports bras are your friend. Any lace underwire bra with no padding could be a disaster to get caught on. Also loafers. There will be a moment where you get it caught on something and you have to slowly breathe through the pain to make sure you don't yank it out. Fun story, one of mine ripped out in my sleep. It eventually healed, but from that point on I was super over aware of my nipple placement at all times. Everything touches your nipples. Everything. They never really heal. Soaking nips in sea salt and warm water is necessary maintenance. If you remove them the holes may semi-close, but if you squeeze your nips junk comes out. Not infection but sebum like stuff. I've had mine pierced twice and I regret it. I don't wear jewelry anymore and the little holes filing up with lotion, sweat, etc. both me. I haven't had any problems with mine whatsoever. The healing process was really easy and I just haven't had any issues. I've had them for 5 years now. Linear algebra. Long hair might get tangled in them. And if you're a side sleeper, the first week or so is painful. Oh, and they might itch from the inside during the healing process. Nothing. I love them and they didn't hurt lol. Then why did you comment? That I'd need a chair in the shower. Rotating the rings to clean them for the first week or so hurt so bad I nearly fainted each time. A chair would have been nice to sit in instead of sinking to the floor as the darkness closed in. I would say just don't get them. You could have infection, irritation. Just change your mind about wanting them and then be left with scars to deal with. Not worth it. Before I got mine pierced, my nipples basically had no feeling. After getting them pierced they feel incredible when stimulated, even tears later. 100% worth it, at least for me. You will feel it crunch as it's going through. Beware of baggy sweaters with loose inside threads. Depending on the jewelry, your shower loofah could become very painful. Don't vigorously scrub your chest if the ball might get caught in the loofah. Suddenly yanking on your freshly pierced nipple and getting soap in it in a combo move is not recommended. They don't heal. They take a long time to heal. How long the recovery is. How every move you make from then on out is about how to not snag a piece of metal out of a very sensitive body part. Not getting them done sooner. Confidence has skyrocketed and I get more sex from my man. How much easier you get nipple chafe when exercising. I can end up with nipple blood dripping to the bottom of my shirt on the pierced side and nothing on the other side. I used to have mine pierced, now in the little holes where I had them done, I have sebum coming out and I regularly have to squeeze it out. Rat, my mum had one too. Didn't mean to go part and look there, I'm a guy. TLDR, I thought I ripped my nipple off. How much attention they need when cleaning the things, especially while healing. It's not as simple as I take showers daily anyway. How fucking badly it hurts and how damn long it takes to heal. I used to pinch my nipple with my fingernails as hard as I could force myself to and was like, yep, I can handle a piercing, but it was a whole new level of hurt for a good 12 months. It never got infected, swollen, smelly, nothing. Just fucking ached like a bitch the whole time.